And a happy Saturday evening to Central New York. I'm Storm Team Meteorologist Jordan Reed, taking a look at downtown Syracuse right now, the Carrier Dome. And we have a blend of clouds and sunshine out there right now. A little bit hazy too, 91 degrees. Winds out of the west at 8 miles an hour, although because of the dew point of 65, it feels like 93. So it feels quite warm out there. And this is the 8th day so far this summer that we've had temperatures at or above 90 degrees. We typically average 10, and it looks like we're well on our way to exceed that, maybe even as soon as the next couple of days. Temperatures across the region, just depending on where you are, most of us in the upper 80s to lower 90s out there, except for down toward the south, where we have a couple of areas in the upper 70s to lower 80s, thanks to some showers and a few storms that moved through. But what we are seeing area-wide is the high dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s, and those are not going anywhere anytime soon. So that means that any storms that we will have not only tonight but also tomorrow could contain a lot of heavy rain because of the fact that there's so much moisture is in the air. That's just what's making it feel downright kind of nasty out there. And speaking of nasty, we are dealing with some showers and even a few heavier thunderstorms across portions of Herkimer into Otsego County. So again, well to the east of our area, but we did deal with some over portions of Oneida, Madison County earlier this afternoon. The better threat for severe weather comes during the day tomorrow from this cold front that's making its way through the Ohio Valley, portions of southern Ontario right now, and that brings the better threat for some wind as well as a few heavier downpours. So I'll get to that in a second, but as far as our timecast goes overnight tonight, we'll have clear skies, if not a few clouds out there. There may be some patchy fog because of the dew point and the temperature will be so close. And tomorrow morning, you'll wake up to a lot of clouds, temperatures in the 70s, maybe a few spotty showers, but it looks like the best threat for some storms, and some of those could be on the heavier side, comes during the afternoon and evening with some wind as well as some heavy rain being the main threats. The best threat for that between about noon and 7 p.m., which is good news for those of you that are running in the Boilermaker in Utica, and I'll have that for you in just a second. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s to the lower and middle 70s with a few showers and storms during the early part of the evening and then becoming mostly cloudy. And then during the day tomorrow, we'll have intervals of clouds and sunshine in the morning and still very humid. And then it gets up into the low 90s during the afternoon with those showers and storms well above the average high for this time of year, by the way, which is 82. Tomorrow, if you're running the Boilermaker, it's a good thing that those storms will hold off to the afternoon because you'll just be dealing with warm and humid conditions starting in the mid and upper 70s and then making our way into the lower and middle 80s by the afternoon with winds out of the south-southwest at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So certainly not ideal running weather, but at least it's not raining. That threat comes in during the afternoon with some large hail possible, but the best threats being some high winds as well as some flooding. And that's because of the excessive amount of moisture that there is in the air. The overall risk for severe weather is low. But then once we get beyond that, Monday is slightly cooler in the wake of that front, but it's still very humid out there. And then we'll get back into the 80s and low 90s as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday with those high dew points not making it past the 60s as we get through Tuesday, and then they go back and up into the 70s once we head toward the end of the week. So taking a look at the 7-day forecast here, we'll get a break from the showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday, but definitely not a break from the heat. And it looks like we could see a few more storms returning by Friday, as well as Thursday, and then Saturday right now. Looks like we'll see a blend of sun and clouds with highs between 80 and 85.